It's Mellow 9, it's 9 Scoops, it's me, Steph, and today we're at the Vibe Bar on Brick Lane to interview Motown singer Jaki Graham. Now, I am only meant to be asking her 9 questions, but I'll be honest, I'm going to ask her a lot more because she's a legend. So let's go inside and see what she's got to talk about. And here's the lady herself. Jackie, welcome to your 9 Scoops.
Oh, thank you very much. Nice to be here.
Welcome to London.
Oh, I know.
First of all, I want to ask you about the legends that you've worked with, because we're talking like Al Green, Cliff Richard, to name just too many. Give me some stories. You must have some stories.
Well, you know something, people like Al Green and Sir Cliff, people like Michael McDonald from the Doobie Brothers. Met Michael back in the 80s, 87. I saw a documentary on Quincy Jones.
Right.
And I've always liked, you know, Michael's voice and the Doobie Brothers sound and everything else, but never really knew what Michael looked like and everything. So I was watching this documentary and he was recording Yamal Be There with James Ingram and Quincy Jones, and I went, that's Michael? That's James? And I think, oh, this is brilliant. Then I heard he was coming over, but by this point he had a hit with Patti LaBelle. And he was coming over, and I said, listen, if I'm not working, I'm saying to him, you know, my love, if I'm not working, please, you know, can we have tickets and we can go and see Michael and stuff like that? I'd love to see him. Anyway, found out about it on the Wednesday, I think it was, and my manager said, we've got it. We got, you know, going to see Michael. He said, really? Oh, I couldn't wait. He realized, he said, no, you're going to see Michael because you're singing with him.
Oh,
the following night, you know, so the Wednesday, the Thursday, I was supposed to be working with Michael McDonald in my hometown at Birmingham Odeon. Well,
was your heart like?
Oh, trust me, girl, it went out the door and come back here and left it. I'm thinking, what made you put me for? What's wrong with you? I can't sing. Patti LaBelle, what? No. Yep. Anyway, I met him the following day, and it's been a lifelong friendship, darling. You know, and he's looked up and written some stuff for my previous albums and so on. So it's been good. And then with Sir Cliff now, we were on the same record label, EMI, and so I've known him off and on for like 20 odd years. And
is he lovely?
Girlfriend, he's spoiled. I have to tell you, he spoiled us rotten. And so for Cliff, and I saw him about 18 months before he'd finished the Soulicious album, and he said, Jackie, I'm going to be working with Lamont Dozier, who wrote a lot of Motown hits. Yeah. And officially, I was signed to Motown for a spell, so I was part. Anyway, so I met Frida Payne, I met Percy Sledge, Lamont Dozier, like I said, who wrote stuff, Billy Davis Jr. and Marilyn McCoo, who were the Fifth Dimensions, and James Ingram. James, so by default I thought I knew James, through Michael and everything, and I'd met James's wife years back at in America at Michael's and stuff like that. So I felt as if I knew him. So girlfriend, we caught up, and his wife was there, and his daughter was. So yes, I was in good company, and Sir Cliff just, I was a part of the Soulicious crowds.
Well, you mentioned your previous albums a minute ago. It's been 23 years since you released an album in the UK.
It has, yeah. It's been a while, chick. Yeah.
How do you think the industry's changed? How are you going to fit into this new music industry of 2012?
Baby, I can only hope through doing shows and stuff. I've never really gone away. Everybody thinks you've gone quite but I've been touring and doing other things in other territories like Japan and Australia and places like that. So, time out. I've done a lot of albums and stuff, but this is the first British one, like it's for 20 odd years. But that may be the first album again for 15 years from the whole thing. But we did bring out a compilation of the songs I did in Japan and all these other albums, and it was called Absolute Essentials. So there's a collection of all the things I've done right up until today. Yeah. Okay. But now we've got the For Sentimental Reasons album, which is another departure for me again, because you're going to hear the other side of Jackie, which is something I did back in 2009. I got a call from BBC to do a little project with the BBC Big Band, and it was to do Gershwin. And I said, oh yeah, call me out to that. Yeah. But I've always loved that sound. But then on sort of researching it and thinking, I'm going, I know a lot of this stuff, I really do, because my dad used to be whistling that kind of stuff to me. Yeah. During, when I was growing up and stuff like that. so that was a cool
So there's an
thing
influence of that in the album?
as well. And then I saw films and so on. So there's a lot of 1920s to 1940s for the new album, Sentimental Reasons. So yeah, there's all that kind of thing. And then, you know, like I said, Gershwin and Duke Ellington and stuff like that. So you're listening to
feel good stuff.
Oh yeah, but if you heard the original, you know, because it's more the jazzy side. There was like Nat King Cole who recorded these things, and Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan and Bessie Smith and Billie Holiday. So when you listen to their version, if you're not into jazz, you know, mine is, there's a spin on it. So it's, you know, have a listen to what I've done to those classic tracks and see what you think of that genre of music. Because what
are your thoughts on the reality shows at the moment, X Factor, The Voice, things like that?
Oh darling, I feel sorry for the kids, really. You know, we talked about how industry has changed. Yeah, for me it's changed a lot. You know, in the days when you know, big SR studios and recording and the desks and stuff like that, and reel to reel and stuff like that. But the kids, you know, everything now is digital, and I haven't comprehended, you know, the new generation of stuff. But kids are doing it in their bedroom, and you know, and they're so creative now, and so on and so on and so on. So for the kids now and the X Factor and stuff, when I came on the scene in the 80s, people said, are you like overnight success? I'm going, no darling, I've been gigging and stuff and doing everything for like past 10, 12 years before even getting spotted. So I like to think I put my apprenticeship in somehow. Does that make sense? So
whereas some of these guys, you think, are just being
bless them, and they're getting the best of everything. Okay, and then when they go out in the real world, and you know, the sound system isn't that good, you know, wherever you're playing or whatever you're doing, because you're not going to always be doing the big theatres and big venues and stuff where you'll have the best of everything, and they're not really knowing how to handle things.
And number one in the United States. Can we talk about that, please?
Pinch me. That's it, and the Billboard, and so on.
How did you feel?
You know, obviously I've been to America and I've done bits and pieces in America, but America's a huge country. All right, they have different time zone in America. And when I started to pick up, thinking, really? So you might be known in one territory and not really known in the other. But the fact that, you know, I was able to touch base with these, I was this girlfriend. I was just so proud and so pleased and so privileged to think that for the gift of the voice, I've been able to travel different cultures, you know, different places, and meet loads of people, and you know, and it's all good, because generally the fans give me a lot of love, you know, and like I said, I'm gaining more and more fans anyway, and they also give me a lot of love and stuff. So, and those who've been with me from the beginning, and you know, encourage their youngsters to hang out. So it's been good, darling. You know, I'm grateful, truly. I thought, you know, I could be just a one-hit wonder back in the 80s, but you know, there by the grace of God, I had a few hits that has stood the test of time, and radio supported it, and the fans supported it, and I'm still here today, still learning my craft, still growing, still doing things, and
doing the 9 Scoops.
Hanging out. I'm hanging out.
Well, one question we do always ask on this show is, if you could be a scoop of ice cream, what flavour would you be and why?
Rum and raisin, and rubber. Yeah, man. I like the ice cream and stuff like that, because that is, I think that's my favourite one. As my baby knows, you know. Rum and raisin. Yep, rum and raisin. And my younger son as well, he's also into it. So yes, I like that. Why I like it? Alcohol. A little bit of something. It's medicinal. It's cold, but it's medicinal. So,
ice cream is really cold.
Yes, I know, chick. I know, and I don't like the cold. You know.
Oh, well, I'm just about to ask you a question about the North Pole, which is also very cold. If you were stranded there, what 5 items would you have to take with you?
Oh, gee. Oh, now you're talking. I couldn't eat it, could I?
Yeah, you take what
you know, you get them things that you burst it and it warms up.
Yeah.
I'd have to take loads of those. Your big heavy coat and everything. Do I have to sleep out in the cold as well?
Well, it depends what you take, because you could maybe take something that would get you out of there. Don't want to put anything in your head, or a helicopter, or, you know.
Can I take one of them?
Well, you can take whatever you want.
If I had the money.
Anything.
I've never been in a chopper either.
Me neither.
So I think I'd like to do that too.
Okay, take a helicopter.
And I'd have to have my music, darling.
Yeah.
I'd have to have some form of music just to keep it, and maybe a lighter or matches or something that I can, you know, melt and make sure that I'm drinking water, and plus see if I can dry out that section so I can warm, you know, burn something.
Yeah.
With some marshmallows and stuff like that, and you know.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
I think we've got more than 5, but
yeah.
You can have whatever you want.
I'd need like knives and stuff like that, wouldn't I?
Cutlery, yeah.
Yeah, cutlery, yeah, of some sort. So
something to live in.
Yeah.
Live in the helicopter.
And what you call a tent or egg. And so something that I could cut out snow and stuff like that myself.
No one's got this animated about this question before. This is amazing.
Is it something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to survive. Well done, you're going to survive, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So if we could have a sneaky peek into the next 10 years of your life, what would we find?
First of all, did I tell you about my star?
No.
I got a star for the Birmingham Walk of Fame, okay? Yes. So
there was a Birmingham Walk of Fame.
Trust me, darling. There's a star. People are gonna walk all over me for the rest of the, you know. I'm immortalized somewhere with a footprint. The reason I mentioned that was because that's gonna be put down. So that's coming up in me. That's within me 10 years, isn't it?
Okay, yeah.
That's one of them. Anyway, I'll be hopefully still recording, you know.
And the album will be out.
Oh yeah. And so I can work on some more albums and stuff. And what I'd like to do is some more youngsters are coming through and saying, you know, Auntie Jackie.
Collaborations.
Yes. Hi, I'm Jaki Graham, and I'm keeping it Mellow 9.